Well, I really wasn't planning on taking part in World War mode, although I guess now I better give it a go. Let's take a look. So this is the AMX-50 Surblindé. This is going to be the main prize for the upcoming World War Mode Season 1, also known as Recon Under Fire. More info on that in the description. So the AMX-50 Surblindé, this is going to be one of what is now 4 AMX-50s in the game. Obviously you have the Foch, you got the standard AMX-50, and then you have the Super Bias. So 4 of them overall. This one I'm presuming will be an event vehicle, likely sitting just off of the tech tree where the premium vehicles usually sit. So getting into the pros and cons that Gaijin have listed in this devlog. First off, 120mm cannon as well as 18 rounds in the autoloader drum. So, you know, autoloader, 120mm cannon. Good sort of mix-up for success there. Same thing that is seen, I believe, on the Super Bias as well. And it does say later on in the devlog that is 5 to 6 shots per minute. So a reload of around 10 seconds there, similar to that of the IS-7. So well-protected hull front. As you can see, the hull front very heavily angled. Very similar, very reminiscent design to that of the IS-3, the T-10, general Soviet heavy tanks. And it does even say a bit later in the devlog, we see a Soviet pike nose design. So very interesting stuff there. Another positive of this vehicle is the 20mm anti-aircraft gun. Yes, that gun on top is a 20mm. Originally I thought it was a 50 cal, but it turns out it is a 20mm. So obviously taking down aircraft is a possibility. Also obviously taking out smaller vehicles such as anti-aircraft vehicles, maybe even just lightly armored vehicles, could possibly be something you could do with this gun. Obviously attacking tanks, bigger heavy tanks, not really a possibility. You would use your main gun for that, but this 20mm could be a nice little utility feature on the vehicle. So getting into cons, first off, high profile. Yeah, this is a big tank, big heavy tank, so I would say try and avoid big open spaces. Big heavy tanks, if you're in an open space, generally you're just going to get sniped, you're just going to get hit from multiple directions, you won't be able to see the enemy, they can see you, and that won't end so well. So I would say try and be sneaky with this vehicle, or to stay in urban areas where it's not so easy for the enemy to see you from long distances. Small selection of shells. From what I can find, this only has AP rounds and HE rounds. AP is what you would go for most of the time. The HE, from what I know, only has 45mm of pen, and it is 120mm, so the explosive filler might be fairly extensive, a few kilograms, but it is likely it won't do that much damage against most tanks. So I would take the AP in most situations. And then the final con that they have listed is weak vertical guidance angles, -6 +10. So definitely not a vehicle you want to be messing around with big hills on, for one thing. Sniping down from hills, sniping up on hills might be tricky with this vehicle. I would say try and stay on more or less flat areas. We will have to wait and see, but generally those angles, they're not too bad. They're fairly small overall amount there, but it's not too bad by any means. So as said, this will be the main prize for the first season of World War. They have listed that generally the tracks, for example, are the same tracks as the King Tiger apparently. So same, basically German tracks there for one thing. This engine also has a German Maybach engine, and this allows this tank to move up to speeds of 51 kilometers per hour. Certainly not too bad. 120mm cannon, as I said, HE rounds with up to 45mm of pen, AP shot with up to 300mm of pen. So not too bad there, and that is obviously at the initial flat penetration value. As the range increases, that amount of penetration will decrease. Now the 20mm anti-aircraft cannon mounted on the commander's cupola, good bonus, but it won't really do so much against tanks especially, although you might be able to damage lighter vehicles and aircraft. So this vehicle, Tier 5 event vehicle, it will be given out, as far as I can tell, to the best squadrons, everyone in the squadron, the best squadrons in this first season of World War Mode, as well as the most skilled specific individual fighters. So 2 ways of getting it really. Individually stand out and get a very good score while you individually play in World War Mode, or just have your squadron do very well and get it through there. So 2 ways of getting it. This is really a sort of an E100 type thing, like the first event the E100 was in, where it was the top, I believe, 200 players got it. It's going to be similar to that, probably a few more people, but it's going to be similar. The top people on the leaderboard will be getting this vehicle, lower people will not. Maybe they will give us another event vehicle for the people who do lower down. I know that there is a Finnish is it a P75 or something like that? Is it a H75 Hawk fighter? I believe there was a small sort of tier 2, tier 1 fighter aircraft in the files that was added at the same time as this. This was actually data mined a few weeks ago, so maybe the sort of lower down people will get a nice little sort of tier 1 or 2 fighter aircraft to mess around with as a prize for participating. We will have to wait and see, but nonetheless, I think I'm going to give World War Mode a crack. I do of course have a squadron, BLTC, so we will have to give this a go. Maybe I'll do it individually, maybe I'll do it as a squadron, we will see, but I would really like to get my hands on this vehicle and give it a go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, please consider smashing the like button, maybe even subscribe to the channel. If you do, that would be massively appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.